Oh, what's up? Oh, I'm at peace. I just got done with a 30-minute not a meditation. No, it's more like breath work, but I just calm my mind. I literally had zero plans coming up here besides to just get to the 0 point. Just let everything go. And I did. That was interesting. I set an alarm for 30 minutes, not knowing what to expect. I don't think I've done just a 30-minute, just whatever on my own, just sitting there, just peaceful, quiet. I really wasn't even planning on doing breath work, but of course I'm going to breathe. But I did 4-7-8 for guessing 15, 17 minutes. And then I connected with Mother Earth, and I placed my hand on the rock, and I transferred energy. I don't know exactly how, but I know how. It's through my hand because I felt it. But I don't know if I transferred my energy to the rock, or I transferred energy from the rock into me. I think it was the rock into me, but it was probably an equal transfer if I had to guess. I don't know. But I asked for wisdom, strength, and peace, because I felt like that's what the rock could give me. Wisdom, because this rock has been here a long time. It's seen a lot. It's gained a lot. I was listening to a podcast or something. I can't remember what it was, but maybe it was just a YouTube video. But they were talking about how rocks have more than energy. It's like, it's not really a soul. Maybe it is. I don't know. But it's like maybe people can reincarnate into rocks or into just tree, rock, bird. I don't know. It's new to me, but it's interesting. But this rock, this is a holy rock. This is my holy rock. So it's definitely got good energy, that's for sure. So I'll take some good energy. Taking some wisdom, peace, whatever else I asked for. I felt peace. I feel peace right now. I think I hit theta state for sure. I nodded at least 4 times. And I never know if I'm getting a download during those times, or I called on Isis, High Priestess. Nothing happened. I felt a little twinge for a second, but I think it was more like my spirit being like, ooh, he's calling on me. No. And then backing off like, ooh, Isis. Just thought I'd try. Isis was in a reading that I heard this morning. High Priestess, that has something to do with my path right now, so I thought I'd call on her and see what we could talk about. Sophia was my spirit guide for probably 3 or 4 days at one point. That was interesting. That was fun. So interesting to even be talking about this. It's a different world. World I didn't know about 4 months ago. 4 months ago. If you would have told me I was gonna try to invoke Isis, I probably wouldn't have believed you. I probably would have believed you, but I would have laughed sure, okay. I just got back from Portland last night at 9, and God told me I needed to go and mend my relationship with my mom. So I did. He told me it's what I needed to do to take the next step and to continue to grow and evolve. So I did. I texted her that day. And then I called her the next day because I was going to come like 2 days later. I just thought it would be easier for her to hear my voice before I just showed up and just called and just talked logistics, like when I was going to leave, what was going on with my son, because I wanted him to come over for dinner. But I just treated it like it was just another day. And it went very well. The whole thing did. As a part of my journey in this spiritual awakening, I hadn't told anybody in my family. I told Katie, my ex-wife, like last week. She was the first person I'd actually told. She wasn't surprised. Just with everything. I told her a lot. I didn't tell her everything, but I told her a lot. I told her a lot of shocking things that had happened to me. Like things that could go one of two ways. That's just the way I look at it. They're gonna go like, you crazy, or that's a miracle. She took it as in the miracle part, which is good. Makes me happy. And she was just happy that I was in a better place. Because she told me, she said, I knew that you were close to like just not being here anymore. At least not wanting to be. And I hadn't talked to her about it at all. I hadn't talked to her in years. But she said she knew. So God told me to go heal my relationship with my mom, which I hadn't talked to her in over a year. And she wasn't surprised. Told them everything. Not everything again, but there's just not enough time to tell somebody everything. Seriously, so much has happened over the past 4 months that it would take, I don't know, a week, like all day long and with some breaks. Oh, so much has happened. God just keeps working on me and pushing me, and I keep growing, stretching, painful, beautiful. But he wants me to go through all of these experiences. He hasn't said this, but I know. He wants me to go through all of these experiences because part of my job in his kingdom is helping people awaken and go through this process. And so clearly there are going to be relationships that are going to be unhealthy, toxic, non-existent, challenged. And I'm going to have to help guide people through those situations. So here I am, going through them all myself. I'm his guinea pig. I'm not his only guinea pig though. There are more of me. But I'm one of them. I'm proud. I'm proud of myself for the growth that I've experienced. It's been a lot. The hardest part has been continuing to move forward with just blind faith. I don't see God. I mean, I guess I see God in everything, but I don't see like he's not standing right there or sitting there meditating with me. I don't see my higher self. I feel him inside of me. him, her. I think it's a her personally, but I think it's both, honestly. There isn't a him and her in spirits. But just having blind faith, not seeing like any real tangible progress except for the progress that's inside of me. That's it. There have been a lot of other things that have been said, that have been not said, but been relayed to me, and that I'm waiting for, I expect, I know they're coming. But faith comes first. And I just keep having faith, and it hasn't been perfect, and I haven't had it every day. Actually, I probably have had it every day, but there have been moments in days where I'm just like, I'm done. Like half a day. Like maybe I'm not done, but I'm just checked out for a little while. I can't handle this right now. I just need to like keep busy. I need to do dishes or something, go for a walk. I don't know. Oh, but just having blind faith, it is hard. It is hard some days. And I just keep showing up. I keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I just keep moving forward because I do believe. And I know what's coming, and I know what's here. I mean, I already see it all around me in the world. So I guess there is tangible evidence that we're just in a period in history and in time that is full of just turmoil. Every day there's something new, and it continues to grow. And that just means that we just keep getting further along in the awakening process. It happened last week. There was a split. Most people won't feel it, not yet. Not in tangible ways, kind of like the faith part. But they feel it, just like they feel a shift in life, energy, habits, thought processes. It's more like an inner knowing that something's up. I'm not quite sure what it is, but something's up. And that's because not only is the world changing, but people are changing. God's changing us all. I'm not even going to pretend to understand everything right now. Seriously, there's just too much. And he came in me like early January, something like that. I think it was early January. And it's right now, it's only the end of February. That's 2 months ago. So if you think or expect that I'm going to know everything in 2 months, no, not happening. But I continue to learn, continue to grow, continue to be faithful. And I know that he is not only blessing me now just with the intangible things, but the material, the physical, they're coming too. The new earth is just going to be structured differently. It's not going to be an earth where you wake up in the morning to an alarm clock and you rush to get ready, get the kids fed, listen to the news, read the newspaper, check in on the war, check in on the Epstein files, and then go to work and grind for 12, 14 hours. It's going to be different. The communities that he wants us to build are going to be different. But that's not yet. we've got to help the people first, because there are going to be a lot of people here very soon that are just confused, not sure what's going on, which direction to turn, who to listen to, and they'll probably turn to their churches. And it's not the best idea, because the churches are gonna lean in on the Bible, and that's definitely not a good idea. Seriously. I hate to say this, but I also am glad that I'm going to say it. But I think we should just get rid of every Bible. It needs to be wiped clean. Control, Alt, Delete. I think that should be a new movement. Control, Alt, Delete Bible. Operation Delete Bible. I don't know, something like that. And the reason that I feel, I don't know what I feel so seriously, I feel so seriously about this, is because I grew up in the Catholic Church my whole life. Never meant anything to me. It really didn't. Religion never sunk like that. Doing the Hail Marys and the Our Fathers and helping Father Fauché. Seriously. And Father Fauché was, I don't know if he was a good man. I heard things at the end that might have happened. Yep. But just the churches in general that teach strictly from the Bible, that's what I was looking for. That is exactly what I wanted when I was like 23 years old and I'm having my first kid. And I'm like, I want to have a foundation of faith in my life. And I want to find a church that teaches from the Bible and teaches Jesus's teachings. That's in my mind, that's exactly what I said. I want to find a church that teaches based on Jesus's teachings. That's what I said in my head. That's what I said to my wife. And we found that and found some good churches. But even then, they just never clicked with me. Not fully. Somewhat. It's definitely some good things and good experiences and some really good people. But in the end, we never got even the support that we needed from the churches that we were a part of either, especially during our struggles, like our real struggles. We tried. We reached out to them. I just remember the looks. They just couldn't help us. Didn't want to. They kind of ignored it. I felt like we got brushed under the rug. It was weird. Katie felt the same thing. And we talked about it just last week. We talked about that. Because I told her exactly what I'm telling you about the Bible. And she's still religious. And she's still into the Bible. And I told her my thoughts. I didn't go deep. But just the Bible preaches shame and fear more than anything. I almost said hate, but I don't think it's really hate. I think that maybe I thought that in my mind just now because the fear like makes me feel hate. Seriously, like why would I have said hate? Because I don't really believe that the Bible preaches hate, but it preaches fear. It wants to keep people in fear so that they keep looking to the church and to men, a man. Just think about that. I say men and a man because it's very few women in leadership positions in churches. I mean, I've never researched it, so if I'm wrong, please do correct me. I don't think I am. That's going to change. The feminine, they were the original OGs. Yeah, I've always known that. Like they have something that men don't have. And it's not that they don't have, it's maybe different levels. And I just always felt that. But they were spiritual leaders early on. Mary Magdalene, who I was taught my whole life was a prostitute that was just at the feet of Jesus, like begging for him to bless her or heal her or whatever. No, it's not true. She was Jesus' companion. His lover. Yeah, Jesus had a lover. Pretty confident in that. Again, I'm not a historian. I haven't researched all of this stuff a ton, but I have pretty good intuition. I feel things. I see things that just, like, I don't know. They're not things that people see. I get senses. I guess it's ESP or whatever it is. But those powers within me are awakening and coming online on a regular basis right now, getting stronger. They've been dormant my whole life. Just like the feelings that I pushed down and I just pushed down, I buried them. All of my real abilities that God gave me are buried underneath all of that. All the shame, all of the feelings that were buried, all of the love that I never received, that I so needed in my life, the clear communication, safety. My abilities were buried underneath all of that. God's helping me find them now. But we're going to see the world change, and the feminine are going to be leaders in this world. You watch. I feel that inside of me. I have no other reason for proof besides just feeling it, I think. Interesting. But I made the trip to Portland. I healed the relationship with the mother, and it feels good. It was necessary. It was needed. Regardless, because and I've said this in a lot of my videos for a long time now, well before even considering reaching out to her and healing that relationship. I said, I don't blame her at all. I don't feel any animosity. I don't feel anything else besides just a love for a mother that was hurt when she was younger, and her mom was hurt when she was younger, and her mom was hurt when she was younger, and it goes on and on and on. And eventually it came down to this guy right here, and he broke under a lot of weight, a lot of pressure. And at a picnic table in Oregon, just didn't want to live anymore, but decided to live, kept going, kept pushing, kept fighting. And eventually God caught up to me and said, you are going to break the generational curse in your family. And there's a generational curse in my family for, I don't know how long. I think they said millennia, like hundreds of years. And my mom said the same thing. She said that she had been to psychics 2 times in her life during my talk with her. And she said she never understood them. But they're coming true now. Actually, one of them has come true. The other one's in the process of coming true through me. And the other one came true through me. I broke the generational curse in our family by choosing myself, choosing to love myself and fight through the generational trauma that flowed through my blood. I feel the confirmation in my skin right now. My spirit saying, yes, you did. You broke the generational curse, Andy. Good job. I've released all of our ancestors from whatever, I don't know, I released them. and I broke the curse for my kids. So their kids will never have to go through what they went through. Because even my kids, they felt it through my wife and I. Each one of our lines, trauma riddled through every single member of the family. Mothers and fathers. Both sides. And I thought back on it, my life, and every relationship I've ever had my girlfriends, their families, had a lot of trauma. Except for in maybe like 7th grade. I don't remember that girlfriend having, but there was divorce. So yeah, I just was too young to probably recognize it. Yeah, they had it too, everybody. Who doesn't, I guess? Who doesn't have generational trauma? Like, everybody has it. We had it deep though, and it was a curse on our line. And I broke that curse. So the pain that my kids felt through my wife and I's relationship of 15 years with no love, no real love. It was a 20-year marriage, but 5 years we were having kids and like busy and like growing a family and buying houses, and it was exciting. And there was like excitement and love. But after the 5-year mark, the love just died fast. We talked about that too, just the other day, last week. And I acknowledged that I couldn't give her the love that she needed because I didn't know how to love, because I didn't know how to feel. It had been buried inside of me for so long. So I apologized and I cried a lot. Just in general, not just because of that, and not because I felt bad, just because of what we both went through. She just took it all so well. Kind of expected her to not get a lot of it, and she probably didn't some of it. But I was really appreciative just of how she handled it, how she listened, and it was a good conversation. Same with my mom and my stepdad. It was a good conversation. And they saw the change in me. And I think that's the key, is that they see the difference in me. They feel it, they see it. God said that my presence just changes rooms, changes atmospheres, changes people. Because I have a different resonance now, because I have him inside of me. And I don't know, people react differently to me now because they see my heart. I have a big heart. I feel things so deeply now. And they see that I can only show up one way in this life now, and that's authentic. I am a sovereign being. I am me, and I am only me. But I have God inside of me, so I'm also him. He is me, I am him, we are one. That's the truth. What an interesting life. What an interesting time we are living in right now. It is amazing. I just never could have imagined living a life like this, right? That I'm living right now. It is just so different. And if people are averse to change, which they are, and millions of people, I don't know, maybe billions. I don't know what the numbers are. But what does a worldwide awakening look like? What are there 11 billion people in the world? 8 billion? Billions, whatever, billions. So how many people are going to awaken through this process. I'd say millions and millions and millions and millions. How many will hear my voice? I have no idea. But all those people being as confused as I am and going through this and just having to try to figure it out with blind faith and no resources. And I have literally figured this all out on my own. I have had nobody. He has kept me silent. He's kept me isolated. He's wanted me to be alone and do this on my own. My higher self guides me in certain directions to resources and to learn things online. I mean, everything's online. And God's been planning this for a while. So he has resources that are hidden in plain sight. But he put me through that experience this week because I'm going to be helping other people go through it somehow, some way. I don't know how. But it's a different world we're living in right now. And I wish each one of you all the best navigating this. All I'm doing right now is just posting these videos, and they're basically just like video journals, me talking about my experience, kind of how I've navigated thought processes that I've gone through, trauma that I've had to uncover to open myself up to let God in. That's another video though, but my ex-girlfriend, she's my twin flame, and she helped me figure out who I was through this whole process. Not knowingly, but we both acknowledged that God used us both to awaken us both, and she's awakening now too. And she got pulled in different directions and has had a harder time. God isolated me. He set me aside and said, you're gonna be an example for my people. You're gonna lead the people through this awakening. And she didn't hear that. She's heard some other things, but she's made her own choices too. And while I just followed God, that's all I did. She justified and she went her own way. And it hasn't worked. Like that has not worked for her. And she's known it. She's felt it. But my presence healed her as well. And is still healing her. And we're getting her back on track on God's plan because she's powerful too. She just hasn't uncovered it yet. She hasn't gotten out of her own way. And that's going to happen to a lot of you guys. You're going to think that you're going to be able to do it on your own and do it your own way. No, sorry. There's only one way when it comes to God's plan. Sorry. You can do it your way. Free will. But your way is going to be over that direction. And God's right over there. He's like right over there. So good luck in that direction. You're on your own. And it's probably going to be harder. And definitely not going to be as beautiful, in my opinion. Could you find some pleasure over there? Some bennies? Sure. But a life of fulfillment, joy, peace, love, unconditional love? No, you're going to get caught in trauma loops. I've done that for too long. I'm done. That's probably why I've been so adamant, like, I'm just going to do what you say, God. Just show me the path. Light it up. I say it all the time. Just light the path and I'll follow it. Just light it up. Sometimes it's not very clear. Sometimes the light's real dim, and sometimes it's dark, and I just have to feel my way through. I just keep moving forward. I just feel my way through then. So you can go your way or you can go God's way. There are a couple different paths there. So I wish you luck, whichever direction you choose. if you do choose God's way, connect with me here, there, everywhere, and maybe we'll be able to find a way to do it together. Peace and love.